So let me now introduce and welcome Parag Parikh, Chairman of Parag Parikh Financial Advisory Services. He joins us live now. Before I go to Parag, let's look at some of his historical calls. Now Parag, in early 90s he was bullish on ISPL, now known as Gillette India, GSK Pharma, and his big call was in 1998-1999 when he avoided IT stocks. Some of his recent smart calls have been Noida Toll Bridge, Mphasis and IL&FS Invest Managers. Parag, what a delight to have you back on ET Now. Thank you for joining us. You've always been a contrarian, buyer. Are you using the current market condition to your advantage, and are you actually buying and shopping?
As long as the market offers good opportunities to buy good businesses available at good prices, then definitely we buy those stocks. We don't normally chase the fancies of the market.
But Parag, is it the consumption theme? Sectorally, what are you most bullish on right now?
Well, as I told you that for us, a good business run by a good credible management, which is very important, which really takes care of its minority shareholders. If these two things are there and a good business model is there, and if it's available at a good price because of market inefficiencies, then it attracts us. We are open for any ideas.
So why don't you make life easier for our viewers? What is a good business which is available at a good price and where you are a buyer?
I like Noida Toll Bridge. Although since last I recommended, it has gone down. Well, the business, nothing has changed in the business dynamics, and IL&FS investment manager also so is the case. There was big selling and it has taken the stock down, but the business fundamentals remain the same, and Mphasis also same, because I think the market had overreacted to certain things which were later clarified by HP. I would maintain that all these three things are still good value buys.
Are you betting on financials, Parag, and you think for financial stocks the value factors are visible again?
See, I'll tell you, for financial, if you are asking me about IL&FS investment manager, they are managing money. It's a PE fund. They get their percentage 1.5 to 2%. I would say their professional charges, and the money is growing. It's not like investing in a mutual fund where every day the NAV changes. It's a long term, 7 year, 10 years, so I know what the flow of the money is going to be. So just looking at some quarterly results upsets, then gives me an opportunity to really look at this business in a very different way, because I'm looking at long term.
Parag, you're a portfolio manager, you're a fund manager, so characterize your portfolio for us. Are you fully invested? Are you sitting on some amount of gunpowder, or are you putting your cash to work?
Well, we are sitting on cash also, and as and when good opportunities come, we buy stocks. But just because one stock is very good, we have certain disciplines to be maintained, not more than about 8 to 10% in a single stock. So we have a good portfolio of about 15 to 20 stocks, because we believe that over diversification is saying you do only when you feel that this is not a profession, it's become a business. Then you try to justify that you are doing a whole lot of things. So if something goes wrong, you are just trying to see that your backs are secure.
Parag, what are the spaces that you would completely avoid at this point in time?
Sectors which we don't understand, sectors where there is a big fancy, everyone is chasing it, sectors or stocks which the news channel are really talking about. It's very easy to find out, because you open all the news channels, all the business channels, and you will know what's the fancy in the market.
So what is the fancy in the market? I'm curious to understand, because on a daily basis we talk about 500 stocks.
500 stocks, so those 500 stocks you can get rid of them.
Are you sensing that in the near term, in the medium term, growth actually could slow down? The central banker, which is Reserve Bank of India, they want growth to slow down. They want demand to come down. And markets, they hate the word slow down.
Yeah. See, today in our life also, it's not that we just go one way up. We have certain bumps. Life is never black or white. It's always shades of grey. So is the case with the markets. And yes, if the RBI feels that they have to slow down, There's nothing wrong about it, because the interest, if so much money is going to chase only and create bubbles, and you see what bubbles are being created. Today the worst bubble is that of the education sector. Education has become so expensive, and people are spending so much money for just that 4 years to get a degree so that they get a good job. And we are in a fast changing situation where we have to upgrade our skills every day, I would call it. So a person who has taken a big loan sitting on education, what happens to him afterwards? If he's taken a loan on housing, he can at least sell the house if he's not there.
So you will not buy Aptech, Evron, Educom, you think?
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about paying so much money for education.
What
I'm not commenting on any education stocks.
Okay. But what are thoughts on typical Buffett-based model companies, names like Gillette, Nestle, Colgate? Are these expensive stocks, or you would gladly like to buy them even at these levels?
No, they are expensive in the Indian markets. But if you go to the US markets, as I've been mentioning since last about 6 months, that there existed a great opportunity. Like Nestle parent company ADR is listed in the US markets, and you could pick it up at 16-17 times earnings, and here you have Nestle at 46 times earnings, and these are global companies. Only thing, the problem is they are listed in stock markets where the euphoria is not there. Of course, slowly in the US market the euphoria is building, but not on these stocks. These stocks are still available at good rates.
Okay, today is the day of autos, and auto spaces are seeing a turnaround. So Hero Honda has now overtaken ONGC as well. It's a 3% uptick that you're currently seeing. You got M&M as well, Tata Motors and Maruti. So the entire auto basket is holding up. Mitesh, anything that you've been spotting, or any trade that you may have initiated up until now?
I'm just waiting for actually, the Nifty to get past 5560. The tone or the thought in the morning is to, trade on the positive side, because as I said, on intraday charts we are getting some signals of reversal after being, after having seen the selling for last 4 or 5 days. So I think I'm just waiting for a break above 5560.
All right, gentlemen, stay with us. A quick break. The news from the markets is it's 18 points off for the Nifty, and Nifty futures are now trading at a smart premium. Welcome back. Indian markets have recovered from the day's low, and this move is actually on expected lines. What about individual stock? Ranbaxy has recovered from the day's low. Bharti, no recovery in sight for Bharti. Bharti came out with disappointing set of numbers. Jyoti Labs, unfortunately that stock has slipped from the day's high. And then what about oil marketing stocks, OMCs? What's the picture there? Let's look at oil marketing companies. Oil marketing stocks in last 1 month on an average, they have appreciated by about 5 to 7%. HPCL, BPCL and ONGC. Parag, this is one sector which has immense value, strong replacement cost. You cannot create these companies again. Are you tempted to buy some of these stocks on a decline?
No, but the pricing is all controlled by the government, So for me, if I look at the business is good, but whether it has got a pricing power, well, I would say it doesn't have a pricing power. So he'll pass my test is no.
So which are the sectors or companies you think they enjoy pricing power, and despite strong inflation their profitability will not come down?
Well, that is, you'll have to really look at certain characteristics of businesses: having a strong brand, having a strong distribution network, having a good moat around the business where competition cannot come in easily. Then they have to be least amount of debt, so that they are working for the shareholders rather than the creditors, and a good business model. And if you look at all these things, certain good brand companies like Gillette and all, they are good business models, but I won't buy them at this rates, because the market will always give you an opportunity to buy such companies later on.
Parag, what about the overall market on a valuation basis? I mean, what's the downside that you're factoring in? Most people talk about the range of 52 to 5400. Where do you think the pain would sort of end?
Well, I would not be able to comment on this, because it's very difficult for anybody to say how it's going to go. Even I don't know how the market will do tomorrow, So I think these are just guesswork making the markets exciting.
So Parag, before we wrap, on a 5% decline or on a 10% decline, 3 stocks you would like to buy and where you are convinced that it makes sense to be a buyer.
Well, the thing, I like Noida, I like Mphasis, and I like IL&FS investment managers.
Do you see these 3 stocks have potential to appreciate by about 50% in the next 3 years?
Yeah, definitely. Long term, if you are looking at long term, nothing like it.
And what are your disclosures?
Well, I own all of them. I don't talk about stocks which I don't own. I don't waste time that way.
Alright Parag, good to have you on ET Now. Good old Parag Parikh always believes in a conservative theory, but a theory which rewards long-term shareholders. Markets now, let's take a look at market